bedroom. It is the House Arrest Podcast, otherwise known as EC Radio, otherwise known as Local Music Monday. Today, we paying homage to every local musician in the area with me and my man, Justin Smithson. But before we do, got to give love and respect out to the sponsors. Much love to EJA Moving Services. When you're ready to move your studio, you want to move your college student to their dorm room, when you're ready to move your gym equipment, whatever you need to do, you got to move your grandmother to Prestwick Glen, have EJA Moving Services move your grandmother to Prestwick Glen. EJAmoving.com. They're safe. They wear gloves. They wear masks, and they're efficient, and they're just nice boys, too. They're very nice boys to deal with. So hit them up, EJAmoving.com. Tell them Uncle Z sent you. Also, much love to Utica Coffee. Saranac Brewery, big ups to Damon Call for dropping off those seltzers. I love those green tea seltzers, people. If you're not out there drinking them, give them a shot. I'm telling you, they're delicious, especially on these hot summer days. Crack open a couple of those green tea seltzers, cool you off like that. Also, much love to attorney Dave Longaretta. If you need legal help, give him a call, 315-735-6162. It is Local Music Monday, and joining me like he does every Monday, my man Justin Smithson. What's good, buddy? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great, considering I had gigs.
Yes. Back to normal, kind of.
Kind of.
You know, how were the gigs?
I mean, the gigs were nice. I mean, you know, we play music that, you know, people like to dance to and people like to rock out to sometimes. And unfortunately, in the bars right now, if you don't know this, if you haven't been out to the bars yet, you can't dance. You can't like get up and rock out, even with a mask on. It's just, you know, what the bars are trying to do right now is they're enforcing this, because if they don't, they lose their liquor license. They're not being assholes. They're not doing this to make your life a living hell. They're doing this because they're trying to survive. And if we go backwards again, there's a lot of bars I don't think you'll see around anymore. So if you like your local bar, respect the fact that they're trying to do this the right way so that they can stay open and you can help them make money and we can continue to play it. You know, that's really where it's at, you know?
I had a couple of people telling me like the liquor authority is around checking too to see if everybody's obliging, if everybody's, you know, following the rules. And have you seen anything this weekend, like inspectors coming through or any of that matter?
Sure. From what I've heard, there's been some health department inspectors and some liquor authority inspectors coming in, like, you know, midway through the day, making sure the bars are set up the way they're supposed to. They're not they're not walking in going, you guys are shut down, nothing looks right. They're coming in early in the day and be like, okay, this looks right. Maybe you should do this. And they're trying to help them out to say, this is where you need to be. This is where you are. This is where you need to be, or you're perfect. You know what I mean? The place we played on Thursday was absolutely perfect. I mean, the owner was walking around and he had like a face shield on, but like explaining the rules to people in a nice, calm way. It was nice to see that, because I think, you know, people don't need to be yelled at. They need to be nicely reminded or nicely told, you know, these are the rules. And, you know, if you want to continue coming here and enjoying this place, then, you know, we need to work together, you know, which is really where, you know, what it's at. I mean, the patrons and the bar owners and the security and the bartenders, everybody needs to work together to make sure we can get back to where we were, because otherwise we're just going to go backwards. And that's no fun for anybody, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be a crazy little vibe. But how's the vibe, though, with everybody coming into the place? Is everybody like ecstatic just to be back out in society again and listening to live music?
Sure. I mean, you know, once everybody gets in and, you know, like you have to wear your mask when you're walking around, but as soon as you sit down at your table, like you come in with a group of people, as soon as you sit down at the table, you can take your masks off so you can eat, you can drink. And, you know, waitresses and bartenders and everybody, they're all wearing masks. So, I mean, there's nothing to worry about there. But I think that once people get settled, they get a couple drinks, they get, you know, food, whatever they're getting. I think people are, you know, kind of be like, okay, this is okay. And then they hear the music. And I tell you, the first couple gigs I played, I mean, I was awkward because I wasn't used to it. And then the crowd didn't know what to do. And like a couple of people are like the slow clap a little bit. They're like looking around, like, why isn't anybody else clapping? And then other people are like, oh, we're supposed to clap. We forgot. You know what I mean? It was just, you know, a couple of those first gigs were funny like that. But, you know, I think that, you know, it's an adapt thing. And I think the people that like to hang out, like to party are the people that are going to adapt well to this. Because, you know, if you want to be out, you're just going to, you know, you're going to do what the bar's policy is, you know. And it's not because, you know, they want to be dicks and they want to force you into, you know, doing things you don't want to do. It's just, this is what the liquor authority and the health department is telling them that they have to do in order to stay open. Because, I mean, when the fines come down, man, there's bars that can't afford these fines that they're being enforced to pay. So they're forced to shut down. They've been pulling liquor licenses on. I mean, most of them are down in the city, but I saw one in Binghamton that got pulled. I mean, that's close by. I mean, Binghamton's not that far away, guys. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they're around it. I mean, if we're all paying attention, we're all being cool with each other, you know, it'll get back on track. You know what I mean? We've waited this long, you know, we've waited this long, just conform until then, you know?
Did you have that nervous feeling? Like it was like your first gig ever?
So, yeah, the first gig was Showtime, was in Liverpool. It's this bar in Liverpool. We played Thursday. And like I said, everybody was great there. It was a great crowd. They had tables set up all 6 feet apart. But I had anxiety for 2 days leading up to it because it was like I didn't like we were supposed to practice that week, and we couldn't practice because we all couldn't get together on the same day. So Joe, our drummer, he sent out the set list, and he says, "Okay, just everybody work on it at home." And you know, we all know the endings. We've been playing these songs for 100 years, but there was a few new ones that we added into the mix, and we had to brush up on for ourselves. But getting there, it was that feeling you got. Like when you first played your first show in front of people, or you played in front of a big crowd, that's the type of anxiety and adrenaline I was feeling. And it took me 4 songs to stop shaking. I was like overwhelmed with like excitement and adrenaline, and it's just my heart was racing, and it was awesome. It was such a great feeling, and I enjoyed having that feeling again because it's been a while. So.
That feeling that you forgot, my brother. Well, it's good that you're back in the swing of things, man. And Local Music Monday today, here we are. We don't have a guest today, but I think it's great because I feel today is a great day for us to give love to our peoples. I had a great weekend with the Pirate Crew. I missed my family so much. And to spend time with everybody this weekend was really good. So I got to give huge shout-outs to my girl, Stacy Waterman, and the crew, Chucky and Red and Colenzo, and just my whole posse out there, and Westcott Security and Brian and everybody that we work with. I miss them terribly. And right now we'd be in the middle of like the 4th inning of like summer concert season, if you know, what I'm talking about. And just to get everybody together. And I figured today was a good day to give love. I mean, dude, you got a great crew that you work with. And I feel it's important for you to give them love and respect. So, give a shout out to your Showtime brothers and the people that help you out with the sound and all the production companies and stuff you work with.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to the Pirate Crew too, because I know that we've been able to work together on many occasions, and there's a certain chemistry that you guys all have. That's a big crew, and there's a certain chemistry you guys all have, and you guys get it done, and you make it enjoyable for the bands, especially when the bands can make it enjoyable for you. But I mean, you guys are so professional, and you guys get everything set up perfectly. And honest to God, it's an absolute pleasure working with you guys. It really is. So. That's awesome, first and foremost. So much love to you guys, and thank you for all your help over the years. As far as our crew goes, I got to give a shout out up in heaven. My man Tom Stone. We had him for a very long time. We just lost him a few years back, and we've been lucky. We've had Paul Charay from Syracuse. He's our sound guy right now, and he cares a lot about us and about what we do, and he's become a brother to us. And Tony Lamazzo is our lighting engineer, and he's doing a fine job. He's happy to be back out, and he both of them they're lugging gear for us too. So you know what I mean. So they're in the back of the truck. They're lugging gear right along with us. And if it wasn't for them, it'd be I don't know where we'd be. I mean, we'd have to use a lot more sound companies, and it's nice to have a consistent person running sound, a consistent person running lights. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Thursday night gig we had, we used Paulie's PA system and his lighting rig because he does have a sound company, S&K Sound, out of Syracuse, and he does do shows for other bands as well. But his lighting engineer, Brian LaPointe, who's award-winning lighting engineer out of Syracuse, he's incredible, and he set up all the lighting rigs for us for Thursday night, and so Tony could run them and everything. So shout out to Brian LaPointe. Every once in a while, we'll reach out if we need a sound company. Reach out. Jeff Clanton used to work with Gridley Page a lot.
Yeah, shout out Jeff Clanton.
Shout out to Jeff Clanton. He's a great dude, and they do a phenomenal job. I know I'm missing people, but I mean, we've had a lot of people over the years that have helped us get to where we are. And honest to God, if there's a single band in the world that doesn't give love to the crew, then they're nothing. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for the crew, you wouldn't be able to do what you do as much as you do, you know? So that's where that's at.
And there's so many great engineers. We got to give love to Finelli and his crew as
Oh,
well.
my God.
And the Local One crew over in Utica, and the stagehand crew. Those guys are
at the Stanley too,
top-notch, man. And let me tell you, man, I've worked in pretty much every theater in upstate New York, and nothing rivals the Stanley, and nothing rivals the stagehand union either. Like those guys are top-notch. People come out of there bragging. I can't tell you how many loadout records they have. The list is endless on how many times they've broken tour loadout records. I mean, it happens every week. The tour will come in, and it's like a thing now. It has been a thing for many years. Like the tour will come in and be like, "Oh, we loaded out, and 4 hours is our best time," and they make sure they get it done before 4 hours. Oh yeah. So it's amazing what they do. So big ups, and then Finelli's like one of the hardest working men in the industry locally.
I don't know if there's anybody that works harder than that man. Honest to God, I mean, he's what he does with the Saranac stage every year, and he's there every week. If you're playing the Saranac stage, Joe Finelli's running sound for you. You know what I mean? And or somebody from his company, and which they're all incredible people as well. Shout out to Chris Cooley. We used him a lot this winter.
Chris Cooley,
work
for
with
sure.
Finelli. Chris does a phenomenal job for us, and I miss all those guys, man. I miss hanging with those guys. The summer, it's definitely different. I'm glad that we're starting to play again, but I'm definitely going to miss Saranac. I'm going to miss the Boilermaker this year. Different things that we look forward to in the summer. All the field days, all the firemen's field days got canceled. You know how much fun that could be. Yeah,
for sure. Now, was Finelli your guy at the Boilermaker?
No, we used John Arago.
Arago. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep. You got to cover out some delay towers when there's 30,000 people in the parking lot. Yeah,
that was the first time that I've ever played a gig that there was delay towers. I've never seen it in my life, and I was like, oh my God, look at all the speakers out there. That's crazy. It's like you just don't. And oh wow, I mean, we're gonna play on this huge festival stage that could hold a major act with the same PA system that this major act would use, and they're using it for us. And they're like, it's just such a great feeling, man. And to be in a local band and have that is, I mean, we're just so grateful for everything that we've been a part of over the years. Let me tell you.
No, let me tell you, that's one thing I've always respected about Showtime. You have that platform at the Boilermaker pretty much for the last few years, and you open the doors to pretty much everybody to come play with you. And that just speaks volumes of your character and like who you guys are as people, and opening the doors to all the other local musicians, man. It's awesome.
Dude, I'll say it right now, Tim Moyer.
Ah, there it is. The streak continues.
Tim Moyer and Matt were the first year we played that. They came out and jam with us. We had guys from Classify come up and play. So I mean, it's been a lot of fun, and we try to Simple Props guys from Simple Props were out last year, and we just try to spread the love as much as we can, because we're all in this together, man. It's not like the '80s anymore. We're not at each other's throats, and we're just we're all working. There's a piece of the pie for everybody. And, we just all try to support each other as much as we can,
Yeah, and it's important to do that. And ZZ, can't forget about ZZ. Having her doing some Aretha Franklin. I thought it was cool. Was it last year or has it been a couple of years in a row that WUTR would broadcast your performance?
Yeah, I think did KTV do it last year, or was it UTR? I think it was UTR. That's right. UTR.
It was UTR. Yeah.
Yep. And we did that interview that one year. And they broadcast. Yeah, they did the whole thing, and they actually sent us some video from that gig that we used for a promo video for a while, which was really cool. So, just like being on that stage, man, it's just you get to see that as a crew member, which is awesome in its own right. To be able to be a part of a big show like that, and growing up, I don't think that I ever wanted to be famous. I never wanted to be like a famous lead singer or anything like that, but I've always wanted to be part of a tour, like just to be on the road for one time. I just want to experience it once in my life, but at least once a year I get a taste of what it's like, which is, that's fine for me. So, in like 20 years, I'll be like, I did one tour, you know what I mean?
No, man. Well, hopefully next year when it comes back, you guys will be right back on that stage. And it gives you some time to plan for it, though, brother. Think about it. Start putting some planning into it and like who you want to have come up. And I mean, there's just so much talent to fish from, especially in this area. We talk about it every Monday, man. Yeah, who are some of the people? Who's somebody that you never played with locally that you would like to play with?
Oh, wow.
Tim
like
Moyer?
a gig with.
I just had to say his
you
name.
know what? It's funny. I've done more gigs with Tim than I think anybody else. You know, I mean, we've done a lot with Gridley Page over the years. We even did this one thing, and I know I'm going on a tangent for a second.
No, go ahead.
When Glory Days in Herkimer was open, it was right at the tail end of when bands hated each other, I guess. And Gridley Page and Showtime were always, you know, we were cool with each other. You know, we're definitely closer now than we ever were, but we were cool with each other. And but our fans thought we hated each other. And so New Year's Eve, I can't even remember what year it was, but that big back room at Glory Days in Herkimer, they had 2 stages set up, and Gridley set up their system on one side, and we set up our system on the other, and we played back and forth all night on New Year's Eve, and the crowd walked in and was just blown away that here's these 2 bands that they all thought hated each other, all the fans hated each other, and here they are playing together in the same room. And everybody was like, I think that was the moment it changed for the audience that they finally realized that these bands all, you know each other and they all play together, you know, and it's all cool. But
you guys have done some epic shit together too.
Sure, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of, I played with a lot of great musicians from the area. There's a lot of Syracuse bands that I think I would put in the mix that I'd like to play with, you know what I mean? Just to jam with, like, you know, Los Blancos.
Yeah.
I would just love to just jam with those guys. And, you know, we got to jam with Mike Sales from Simple Props. Barney comes up every once in a while. I don't think I've ever played a gig with Bill Carmen, but I would like to do that. That would be fun. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go through guys that I've pretty much at least been on stage with just about everybody in the Utica area, just because it's just, you know, we either bring them up or they bring us up if we're there, you know, and it's just a love thing, man. It's just showing love, you know, whenever we get a chance to, you know. And,
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Frank Cosmo.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah.
You mentioned his name 3 weeks in a row too. He's the new Tim Moyer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite an epic thing for me. Like to get love from him on Facebook was pretty cool because, you know, that man's still on tour. I mean, obviously not right now, but, you know, he's still touring around the country, you know, and it's cool when you get love like that from especially a local guy like that, you know, and he appreciates, you know, good music when he hears it, and he sat and listened and enjoyed himself, and it makes you feel good, you know what I mean? But I would kill to do a gig with him, man. That would be great.
Hell yeah, man.
What about you? I've never played in a band or jammed with you at all.
You don't want to play with me.
Come on now. Listen, it's all about having fun. You want to do something? Man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely. You know what I mean? See, I don't consider
do a metal show.
You want to do a metal show? I don't consider myself a musician at all. I'm an entertainer.
Absolutely. Well, aren't we all? You know what I mean? I mean, it's you know. I think everybody's humble enough in the music community to say they're all, you know, humble.
Can I play didgeridoo on your album?
Yes. Do you know how to do that? Oh my God, that's amazing.
All right.
I love it. Dude, you've been practicing, haven't you?
No, not at all, actually. I get, well, maybe once or twice, but I'll get drunk and go live and blow my stage. I got problems, Justin.
I don't know. I don't see that as a problem. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, man. You know, is there anybody out there locally that you know of that plays didgeridoo? I feel like Jay Schnitt knows how to play didgeridoo.
Jay Schnitt probably knows how to play every instrument in the world.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I mean, we did a gig at the EC. It was a Rubentime gig. The first Rubentime gig we ever did with Ruben James and Showtime at the EC. And first of all, one of my favorite gigs of all time, because that was the first time I'd ever played at the Electric Company myself. And so, like, getting to see that back room where everybody signed their names, and there was so many good stories in that back room, and I got to be part of that, which was awesome. But Jay Schnitt, I think it was before or after, I can't remember if it was before or after he fell off the stage, because we got pretty toasted that night. But he
wrote a song about it.
Yeah, oh, sure. He whipped out a theremin, and I'd never even seen that before in my life. And he sat there in one of their songs and played this fucking theremin. I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. But I mean, like, he whips out these weird ass instruments and like plays them like he's been playing them his whole life. Once again, Utica area talent. You can't fucking beat it.
Yeah, for sure. Moyer's saying Jeff Moyer could probably play one.
Yeah, I would. That's another person I'd say that could probably. Well, Jeff says he doesn't know how to play piano, but I think he's lying. But he says that's the only instrument he can't play is the keyboard, piano. And I'm like, I think he's lying. I'm trying to call him out on it, but he won't listen.
Matt Harvey's also saying Ace Butera plays a lot of instruments. I wonder if he could probably play a didgeridoo. I want to find somebody out there that's actually knowledgeable in the didgeridoo and then teach me.
I think Jeff Adderman might know how to play.
He might know how to play too, huh?
Yeah,
it's all about the circular breathing. You do circular breathe? Exactly. Can you do it?
I can't do it. No. Brian Bird from Primetime in Syracuse, he circular breathes. He can do that. He went to school. He went to college with Jeff Coffin, who plays with the Dave Matthews Band right now. Yep. They went to school together, and they all took from the same guy who taught them how to circular breathe. So that's a pretty cool thing. But Jeff Adderman at Big Blue North had a didgeridoo in the control room when Mikey Brindisi came down, and we all recorded his album when I produced his album. And we all took turns trying to play it. It's tough, man. It's pretty tough. And then you're supposed to have like a stick or something that you hit with it too, right? Like that. Every time I see like I don't know if it's an African instrument, right?
Yeah.
So you see a native playing a didgeridoo, and they have something where they also rhythmically hit something on it, like a stick or something on it, and it creates this different sound with it. And it's just a really cool instrument. And anytime I've ever heard it in any type of music, it's just really cool. It's almost deafening when you listen to it in person because it's got that low rumble, that frequency that just hits you just right, you know?
Indeed. There's a guy that used to be out there from Australia. His name was Dr. Gidge. He used to come up and play a lot of the upstate New York music festivals back in the 90s. And he would put on these performances. It'd be him, a drummer, and a bass player, and he would loop everything and just put layers on top of layers and make all these crazy sounds out of a didgeridoo. Really unique. Really unique
being a bass player, have you ever heard of a Chapman stick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Chapman stick, that's another unique instrument that not many people can play. You know who plays it is another Syracuse musician, Cremo. He usually brings it along with him when he plays. So, and that's cool. That's a cool instrument.
Now, there's a guy that's on a whole nother level, too, when it comes to playing bass. He is like a whole, like every time watching him back in the day, I would just sit there and stare at him. And like he'd be playing with Paul Angelosa, who's like one of the sickest guitarists on the planet, and Lenny Milano was like a clock behind the drums. But I'd be focused on Cremo the whole time. Yep. Just the guy was amazing. Like that was that energy, band right there. Yeah, that was a band.
It was such an energetic band. It was it was absolutely incredible. They got back. They did a reunion show recently. It wasn't even billed. It was Paul came up from Florida, and he showed up at a Trainwreck gig, which was Mark Macri, Tim Bullard, Cremo, and Lenny Sr. And obviously Macri, but Antrosa shows up, and it ended up being Paul, Cremo, and Lenny. And Mark would come in and do a couple things on the keys and stuff, but it was a Vinny and the Butchers reunion right there at Harpoon Eddie's. It was insane. And that was one of the gigs that I couldn't make, so I was very upset that I wasn't there. But, you know, that's another guy I'd love to play with, Paul Angelosa. I just want to back him up on rhythm guitar because I can't touch him anywhere else from that. But I'd love to be a rhythm guitar player and just listen to him play and be on stage with him. That would be kind of cool.
Who was the first band that like blew your head off locally?
Locally?
Yeah. Was there a band you'd go follow from time to time?
You know, it's funny because I started playing with Three Pete Showtime when I was 13, so I didn't have much of a childhood to watch bands or to go out. There was a local band in Ilion. They were called Carver Brickfield, and a very good friend of mine, my parents was Al Merrick, and he played with that band. So anytime they played for a field days or something, my parents would bring me down there, and I worshiped those guys. They were like the big time, you know what I mean? When I was young, and then you know, growing up, obviously listening to Joe Bonamassa play when he had the Bloodline thing, when Lenny and Cremo were playing with him, and you know, I took a lot of inspiration from him blues wise, and then Phil Petroff, I would go see. Natural Fact, Phil Petroff, Natural Fact, which was basically Vinny and the Butchers, but substitute Phil Petroff or Paul Angelosa with Phil Petroff. It was the same band,
right?
But
Petroff is a blazing guitar player,
dude. I mean, and I got to see him when he was running around like a maniac back in the day. When he'd like go outside and play a guitar solo, and look through the window at everybody in the middle of winter, and he's freaking ripping on his guitar and like jumping up on tables and shit. The dude was insane.
He used to play at the EC, be like, pour me a shot of Jack. He'd grab a shot of Jack, and he'd go outside playing with the shot of Jack in his hand and do the shot and use it as a slide.
Use it as a slide,
I mean, he was freaking amazing. That guy rips.
Yeah.
Absolute shredder.
Absolutely, man. And it's like, God, there's so many people that I'm excited that there's such a huge plethora of great local musicians around here that we can have on the show. I feel like we could go like 4 years on this show and have a different guest every time. You know,
no doubt, man.
And everybody's got a story. You know, we all are connected in some way. You know what I mean? I got to play my only gig with Syracuse musicians I ever got to play, which was one of my favorite gigs I ever did, was Jerry Crimmins couldn't make the Hammond Jam. You know, they do Hammond Jam at a Dinosaur every year.
Uh-huh.
So Hammond Jam and Monkey Fever played that every year because Bill Berry's their B3 player. And one year, Jerry couldn't do it. So they asked me to sing. And I've never fronted a band in my life. I mean, I always have a guitar on me. You know what I mean? So they want me to just come sing. And I'm like, because they have incredible guitar players, Joe Pacheria and Tom Hillenbrand are their guitar players. And they're both fantastic, unbelievable guitarists. They play with just about every band in Syracuse. You got Lenny Sr. on drums, Bill Berry on keyboards. Cremo at the time was playing bass, and I had to front this band. And we did like all these cool songs, like old songs like Black is Black, Running on Empty, or not Running on Empty, was another Jackson Brown song. But we did all these cool songs, and the place, like Hammond Jam, is always filled with people upstairs at the Dinosaur. It's a great venue, and they have this back room where all the artists get to hang out. And to be able to connect with all these Syracuse guys and walk up to Syracuse guys and be like, hey, I'm Justin Smithson. Oh, we know who you are. You're with that band Showtime down in the Valley, right? Yeah. And it's like, whoa, how do these people know who I am? It's like weird. You know, like Syracuse is like growing up, it was like Syracuse was, another huge area for wonderful, incredibly talented musicians. And so
absolutely,
and a lot of the guys that I looked up to are a little bit older now, but they're still jamming just like they were in the 30s. You know what I mean? So like doing that gig was a lot of fun, and playing with some of the best Syracuse musicians was just an honor, an incredible honor. Just like it is every time I get to play with some of the older guys in Utica. It's such an honor to be on that stage with guys that I looked up to my whole life. So
yeah, talent is plentiful here in the 315. That's for damn sure. There's a lot of like historic moments that happened in Utica too, musically as well. And I'm going to bring up a thing. You talked about Joe Bonamassa, but did you know Little Stevie Van Zandt from the Sopranos? You know the story from the Sopranos, and he was also in the E Street Band with Bruce Springsteen, of course. Came to Captain Trips to teach Joe Bonamassa how to sing. He was there for like a whole week to teach Bonamassa. Like he molded that voice that Bonamassa had to say. Because if you remember, Bonamassa was just playing guitar. He wasn't really singing. When he first came out, he kind of had the Peter Brady effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he grew up, and Little Stevie taught him how to do that right here in Utica. Is that amazing?
Yeah, that's there's a lot of people that have come through Utica too. I mean, famous musicians like that. I think at the same point, I mean, there's not been one that I've met that has come through and said anything other than, I can't believe that this place is not on the map musically. Like there's like the concentration of talent in this area is second to none, man. It really is,
Yeah. So do you have any legendary Utica music history for me? Give me a legendary moment. It could be either with you or something you've heard down the road, or maybe from somebody that is originally from here.
I mean, I don't.
Putting you on the spot, huh?
I know. Offhand, I don't. I mean, historical moments. I mean, usually for me, I mean, I got to play with the two drummers that played with James Brown, Clyde Stubblefield, and Jabo Starks. I played at the Devereaux with them, and I got to front that band. And singing James Brown with the two drummers that played it behind me. I mean, that was a pretty historic moment for me in itself. Steve Smith from Journey came in with his jazz band, and I asked him while he was warming up, I'm like, do you remember the Middle of Separate Ways from Journey? Because at the time he hadn't been playing with them for a long time. He's like, man, I haven't done that in like 25 years, and he continues to warm up like this. And all of a sudden he breaks into the solo, that drum solo in the Middle of Separate Ways, and he played the whole thing, and it was just like, there's the guy, and he's standing right in front of me, right? So another Steve Smith thing. Now, Yako and I used to do like we would open for whoever he would bring in, which any famous drummer that has come into this area is because of Kelly Yako, and I will tell you that right now. And it doesn't matter what you think of him. It doesn't matter what people think of any musician in this area. When they do something like that for the area, it's good by me in that sense. You know what I mean? And what he's done for this area with children and with the amount of talent that he's brought in for us musicians to listen to, and he's done master classes with these people that we can all learn from. And when Steve Smith came in, we were opening up for him on the other Devereaux stage. So he gets done with his sound check. We start sound checking our thing. And he walks up and he goes, "Hey, you guys mind if I jam with you?" And I'm like, the drummer from Journey wants to jam with us. Oh my God, what are we going to play? What are we going to play? And we're trying to figure it out. And he walks up, and can you guess what song he wanted to play? Think cliche song.
Please don't stop believing.
No.
Okay, good.
Not Journey. Not Journey.
All right.
He wanted to play Mustang Sally.
Come on.
I literally, in my brain, was going, "You have got to be fucking kidding me." And at the same time going, "Absolutely, Mr. Smith. Whatever you want to do, man, that'd be great." And I'm thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to play Mustang Sally with the drummer from Journey. This is ridiculous." But it was the greatest version of Mustang Sally that I've ever played in my life, because he was playing the drum. I mean, so it's cool things like that. I mean, Kenny Arnoff had a lot of great things to say about musicians in the area. We got to play with him. Jose and I played with him when he came into town. We did, he was on tour with Fogerty, so we did Proud Mary, and we did Bad Moon Rising, and then we did Hurt So Good, because he was on tour with Mellencamp for a while. And he stood up and goes, "My God, I can't believe that, you guys are in this area are so talented. It's great, And, Liberty DeVito obviously came in a bunch of times, Billy Joel's drummer. So, I'm so blessed, and I think this area is so blessed when stuff like that happens, and for the other drummers in the area, Liberty, when he came in the first time, we had a big jam at the Devereaux, and there was 2 drum sets set up. So Kelly opened it up to some drummers to come up and jam with Liberty, and like Lenny Sr. came up and played Scenes from an Italian Restaurant with Liberty DeVito. I mean, like Lenny Milano Sr. and Liberty DeVito on the same stage playing at the same time. That's a lot of vowels right there, Justin. That's a lot of vowels. Seriously, man. I mean, those are some great Polish names, man. Let me just throw that out there. I want to back up though. What do you say to Clyde Stubblefield? Like, what conversation are you having with him? Well, the way the story goes, and he created a genre. Yes, and I mean, you could ask Kelly this story. The first year they came in, because it was actually Kelly that told me the story. That they came in, they put together a band of all-stars. Brian Marcantonio from the Frogs. There was like a whole bunch of guys that they had from the area to play with these guys when they played. And, of course, we opened up for them. So they're off to the side watching us play our opening set. So I'm a little nervous because now, I mean, we got to do soul songs because they're a soul band. You don't want to play, like, classic rock when they're going to come up and do James Brown songs, So we did some soul tunes. And I sang, what's that? Oh, did I lose you? No, we're good. We're good? You lost? Sorry. So they were sitting down watching us, and we did Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Stevie Wonder, and I sang it. And they were just grooving right along when we were doing it. It made us all feel so good, And so the next year, Kelly calls them again to see if they'll come in again. And they're like, we'll come in, but we want to make sure that white dude that sang Signed, Sealed, Delivered is going to front the band this time. Oh my God! And he literally called me and he said, he goes, we can do it again. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I can. Of course I can. Come on, And it was just so cool to they called me out. You know what I mean? It was like we want that guy to front us. I'm like, man, it was just to hear that. It's such a good feeling, and it's like I've made friendships with a lot of these guys that I never thought I would have because unless I moved to like LA or something. But there's been a lot of guys like Carmen Carmonica's brought in some guys before to play and to meet the musicians in the area. And Kelly's done a lot for the musicians in the area as far as getting us to a point where we can almost feel like we're friends with these guys. He invites us all out to dinner with them, and it's a way for the area to kind of, well, for these guys to know that there's something other than Nashville and Austin and New York and Los Angeles. You know what I mean? There are other places in the world that have good talent.
Carmen Carmonica, we could do a whole podcast on him, man.
Man, you're not kidding.
We should get him on this podcast, actually.
I'd love to,
which would be great. I'd love to talk to him. I mean, his career is extensive. The stuff he did with The Tonight Show. And, I mean, it's amazing. His accolades are huge. And his
what do they say?
And he's still here locally.
Yeah, it's like I think they said it's like the first guy that technically made it big out of Utica. You know what I mean? Where Made It Big was making it big. You know what I mean? Like in the 60s and 70s. I mean, playing on the Tonight Show and the Tonight Show band, that's making it big. You know what I mean? You made it. So and the fact that he still comes around and I mean, he obviously lives in the area, but I mean, for him to come out and still jam gigs. I remember watching him play at he put together a band of his teachers to play at Hannah Park. And two things happen when you watch musicians to play like that. And like, it's happened to me many, many times in my life. That two things that happen to me. Number one, you immediately want to throw your guitar in a fire and burn it and never, ever touch it again. And then the other part is like, oh my God, what did he do there? What is that chord? What is that? What is he doing? You know what I mean? And like, I go home and just in woodshed and just try to get, it kind of keeps you going. Anytime I get to see somebody, to play out. I mean, and that's the thing I've learned. I've been inspired by kids that have played for 3 years, you know what I mean? And cats that have played for 60 years, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how long you've been playing. There's stuff that we can all learn from each other. And that's my big thing that I like to say is that, people come up to you and they're like, oh, I'm not really good. I'm like, I guarantee I could learn something from you. You know what I mean? There's something that you can inspire me with, you know what I mean? As a player. And that's, I believe that in any instrument, in any band, that's why I don't ever think that like a band sucks or anything like that. I don't think that, like, I just think that there's stuff that I think that bands play differently. I think that bands interpret songs differently. And I think that, if you could find somebody in the band that you really dig, then you could be inspired by them in some way to practice your instrument, to be better in any way. Maybe they do something that you don't know about. Maybe they do something you're like, wow, that's a cool lick. I want to learn that. You know what I mean? There's just so much knowledge out there to just be soaked up. And I am so thankful that I was bit with this music bug and I have this talent that I'm able to do this on a daily basis, because man, I could talk about this for hours because it means so much to me.
Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Real quick, because I know we got a hard 45 coming up in a second. Matt Harvey saying Cremo's a monster. He remembers that trio at the Devereaux, legendary trio. To Angerosa, Cremo, Lenny Milano. That's legendary. Vinny and the Butchers. Love to see that come back. Shout out to Al Merrick, too, John Stevens. John Stevens is saying shout out to Al Merrick.
Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. That's right.
Yeah. Let's see. Great show. Carlo Russo checking in. What's up, Carlo? Carlo's going to be my guest on Thursday from the Uncle Louie Variety Show. Looking forward to catching up with him. And, Jose saying plentiful, which meaning there's plentiful of musicians out there. And one thing me and Moyer always wanted to do, we were talking about this years ago, we wanted to do a thing called Band Survivor, where we throw names in a hat. So there'll be a hat of singers, there'll be a hat of guitar players, there'll be a hat of bass players, a hat of drummers, right? And you get to mix and match all the different, everybody picks out of a hat and throw in songs. Yeah, it'd be really involved, though. I see it being a lot of work, but it could be something cool, and it'd be a great way for all these local musicians to collaborate with one another. Absolutely, man. We got to talk to the local TV stations. We can make it a weekly thing, Yeah, we'll do like some kind of reality show type of thing, man. Yeah. Also, before, I want to give love and respect out to Masucci and Mossy, too, out there. They're out there always doing Animal Jam and all the events that they do for the community. They don't make 1 cent off of any of their events, not $1. They always give it back to the Stephen Swan Humane Society. And a big shout out to all the bands that's been donating their time to Animal Jam for the last 12 years. There's so many, I can't even get into it, but there's a lot of great promoters and bar owners and the people from Lukens and, of course, Tom Powers and your boy Bobby and Dick Smiths. And then there's just a lot of great people out there still waving the flag for the local music scene. And thank you to everybody that's still hosting live music and producing live music and recording live music and just promoting live music as well, especially here locally. So big shout out to everybody in the 315 and keep supporting your local music. Share, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff with all your favorite local artists. That's how we spread the word here, people. That's how it snowballs. And that's how we draw attention to let people know that we have a kick-ass music here in the 315, man. You got anybody else you forgot? You got to throw somebody some love and respect out there.
Oh, dude, I know I'm forgetting so many people. I mean, it's you know, like you said, Bob Seward is a stickler for live music, man. That dude, if he could have live music every night of the week, he would do it. And so much love to him and TP over at Celtic Harp, Tommy Carrot at Lukens, the Varick, Sickenberger.
Sickenberger. Can't forget about Stephen Michelle.
Come on. Steve Michelle. I mean, they got a compound down there of bars and restaurants that they just throw live music in and DJs or whatever they can. And just, a lot of people on Varick Street, they're just, Chip O'Donnell. I mean, he does a DJ thing there on Thursday nights too. Saranac Brewery, got to throw that out to them. I mean, it's been 21 years that they've done Saranac Thursday, 22 years, something like that, which is, something huge for the area. I mean, One Jenny, that's been a great place. Cavallos, Noella Cavallos. I mean, just, going everywhere, man. I mean, anywhere that you see live music, these bar owners want live music there. You know what I mean? They want this to continue. So, like I said, I'll bookend the end of the show, at the beginning of the show. These guys, these bar owners, these bouncers are not out to bust your balls. They're not out to make your night horrible. They're out to try to help their place survive so that you can continue to have fun there. Okay? It's not like, I can't reiterate that enough because they're on the struggle bus right now. Really, really bad, especially the smaller bars, So, I mean, show them some love. Walk in there with your mask. Don't accidentally leave it in the car just in case you think nobody else is wearing it. If you follow the rules, know that you're not the person that's going to cause them to shut down.
Right on. Great words, brother. Justin, last but certainly not least, the one person we do need to give some love and respect to, and you know who that is? Not Tim Moyer. It's Todd Williams.
It's got to be Todd Williams.
Yeah. Got to be Todd Williams. We saved the best for last, man. Todd, man, I don't know how the guy has put up with me throughout quarantine. Seriously, I blew up computers. I destroyed the studio. It's a mess in the studio right now. It's probably because of my fault. A bunch of shit. He's put up with so much shit for me in the last 3-4 months. And Todd, I don't know. I would have divorced me a long time ago if I was you. But anyways, but he kicks ass, man. And he's the reason why the D looks so good. And it's the reason why the D is out there and hasn't stopped and hasn't missed a beat. In fact, we gained traction since this whole quarantine thing has gone down.
That's right.
And a lot has to do because of Todd and his expertise behind the control panels at the D, man. And he's killing it. So, Todd, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you so much, brother.
Coming up tonight, too, and he's got a couple shows that he needs to run tonight. He's got No Time for Nonsense coming up with Bill and Ryan Vinci. They've got former NFL football player Leroy Collins. That goes off at 7 o'clock. And then Heather on Unstoppable You podcast goes off, and she's celebrating Pride Month. So that's going on tonight, 9 o'clock, Unstoppable You. You can like, subscribe, comment, share, everything Disruption Network when it comes to the socials. Please Google us. Go to our website, disruptionnetwork.net, and spread the word, people. Spread the word. Justin, where are you playing this week? Give a plug to where you're at this week.
I am Thursday at Lukens, outside on the deck with the Showtime Trio, and then the Showtime Trio again on Friday at One Jenny.
Awesome. Cool, man. Dude, it's been a lot of fun. And next week, we got to tell everybody we're doing part 2 of Bob Aquaviva. And then you got a couple good things in the works. Could we talk about it or no?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you got a couple guys that you're talking to. They're coming in the next couple of weeks. So
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got Greeley Ford is going to come in and chat with us, and trying to get Cuz Larry Desiato, trying to get him out of the woodwork. Come and chat with us a little bit. That'll be fun.
He will,
and
we will.
We're trying to find maybe we might have to do a 6-part episode with Lenny Milano Sr. at some point. We'll just maybe record that ahead of time and just split it up.
Yeah. Split it up 6 ways.
Yeah, and we mean that with so much love because you know what? I'm telling you right now, there is 6 episodes of stories that guy can tell us all. And he can school us on a lot of stuff. So It's
and it
still
still
with
wouldn't be
much love.
enough.
Right, right.
All right, brother. You have yourself a great day. Thank you so much to everybody over at EJA Moving Services for believing in Disruption Network and here at EC Radio. Give them a call today. Check out their website, ejamoving.com. When you're ready to move and relocate, have Eddie and his boy make your move stress-free. Home of the free boxes, too. I can't believe those other moving companies charge you for boxes. But Eddie, he don't charge you for boxes. He packs them for you, moves them for you, unpacks them for you. They even put your little trinkets and your knickknacks wherever they need to go. He'll do that for you. It's crazy. He's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. ejamoving.com. Also, much love to Utica Coffee. We're doing an event there July 18th. Free coffee on the deed. It's coming up really soon. More details coming really soon. Also, thank you to Saranac and attorney Dave Longaretta. And, I'll see you really, really soon, actually. I no show tomorrow, but definitely coming back on Wednesday. By the way, you know what? I'm going to tell you this off air. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
All right.